All right. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. This is the Align Life podcast. We're going to start off. I'm Janine.
I'm Emily.
And we're going to start off with a little space clearing and then visualization. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And yeah, we're just so excited to have you guys here.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Just for the people at home, that's your Palo Santo, right?
This is Palo Santo. And I just like to clear the space to remove any stale energy and welcome in authentic, wonderful blessings. I have a little thing that I do in my head. I'll save that for another time. Okay. So let's start off with our visualization. If you'd like to join us at home, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, let it out. You're walking in a forest surrounded by beautiful trees. Take a moment to feel the temperature on your skin. Take in the smells of the forest around you. Maybe it's just been raining. Start walking through the path. You feel the sunshine peeking through the trees. How does that feel on your skin? What does that look like through the trees? Take a moment to connect with your most authentic self. Maybe this is a future self or whatever pops up into your head. What is the most loving thing your authentic future self will say to you in this moment? Take a moment of gratitude. Take in one last breath here. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Thank you. I loved that. I love visualization, and your voice is so soothing, so that really helped. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right.
Do you want to talk about what came up for you in the visualization?
Yeah. So let's talk about it. Would love to hear your thoughts.
Well, first of all, I just love the forest as the place to go, like in your mind, because that's where I normally go anyways. So it's nice that was the place that we met in yours. And in terms of like the image that came in my head, I did think of a future version of myself who doesn't really seem that far away right now. So maybe like we're ending the year, so I'm envisioning myself at the end of 2026.
Okay.
And it was like sweet. Like I didn't think it would happen this way, but I was just like kind of looking at her, and like my little spirit me, like from the end of 2026 came over and like gave me a little kiss on my forehead.
So cute.
Which is like the ultimate, I think, just like comforting feeling. Like I always make Eddie give me so many kisses on my forehead because it just like puts me to sleep and like calms me down.
Yeah.
So she was just like, "You're on the path," and she just gave me like a little
cute, sassy, loving.
Yeah. So it's a very sweet little moment I had with my future self.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, for me, I kind of had an idea of what the visualization was going to be, but I just kind of like felt it as I was saying it. And I have this like authentic future self that comes in usually when I'm doing like meditations and stuff. And it's like almost like me maybe in my like 40s or 50s, maybe
Mm-hmm.
more like 50s, with like super long curly hair with like grays in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just like my most like magnetic, like wise self. So she came and just said, like, you're doing great, like keep going, like you're on the path, which is I think similar to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. I would swear I didn't copy you, but that was like it was similar. It was like it was like a moment of just like encouragement, like you're good, like you're doing great. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's nice. And it's been raining here in California, so the rain and like kind of that like damp feeling of being outside in the rain and like all the smells that come up when you're in the forest and around trees
Yeah.
and yeah. Anyways, yay! Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's jump in to our little flow today. So, do you want to share like some life updates? It's been a while since we did our last episode. What's been going on for you? Or like, what are some new things that you brought into your life in the past like few weeks, month?
Yeah. It's been a nice fall. I think I've been like super intentional. Um, yeah, I've started the To Be Magnetic Return to Magic. It's like a 15-day challenge. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it never takes me like the amount of time, and I don't think they expect you to like. But it's just kind of a reminder of okay, I can use this as a tool. So that's been nice. And then I've also been doing this Nourishing the Yin program with Ayla, who is my yoga teacher friend,
Mm-hmm.
and just someone that I really admire and I'm always inspired by. So it's like a 6-week program of learning about yin and how to incorporate like yin philosophy within your life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just been really, really nice for like the end of fall and as things start to feel like they're slowing down. Um, yeah. And
Nice.
so I think I've just been like super intentional about that this year, which I think I've been leading up to. So it
Mm-hmm.
feels good to like embody that this year.
Yeah, it's like a big I don't remember who talked about this last time, but I feel like it is a big shift when you make the decision, okay, I'm going to start like living more with the moon cycles or with the seasons, and like you have an idea of what it's going to look like, but then the reality is it does take a bit of time to implement it and for you to really feel it in your body and like for it to make sense in your life. So
Mm,
that's awesome, but it's
yeah.
feeling more, I guess, cohesive this year for you and like
Yeah.
a natural state of flow.
That's a good
um
point. What about you? Any life updates? What's been going on?
yeah, I think my biggest one is, and I'll get into it a little more later, but my biggest one is I definitely have been feeling more grounded. Um, I think like, and I think we might have touched on this in a previous episode, but when I started looking into starting grad school again,
Hmm.
I was feeling very overwhelmed, which was the opposite of how I felt earlier in the year. Because earlier in the year, I was like, I know what school I want to go to. Like, it's set. Like, I'm going to continue working at the school. I'm going to have summers off, and like everything just kind of fits.
Yeah.
And then I made the decision not to continue that path. And so now grad school is going to look different and like how it's implemented in my life and
Yeah.
even what programs I can kind of apply to make sure that I'm still working because it's like not an option to just not work during grad school
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Um, so one thing that I've been keeping tabs on the past few years has been looking at programs at Humboldt. And I know I talked to you about this a little already, but I was so bummed a few years ago when I reached out to the program. They have distance learning, but they said they wouldn't really like work with students who were in the Bay Area to find a site placement. And so that was just kind of like it felt like a door closed and I was really sad about
Yeah.
it.
Super whack too.
But then I reached out again recently and I let them know the type of work that I'm doing now and that I'm in the Bay Area. And the person I spoke to said, yeah, like it's kind of difficult to find placements in the Bay, but we've been able to do it. And we can talk about the possibility of doing like a work placement. So that just felt like a big sigh of relief.
That's huge. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, so I definitely feel like I have a way forward, less anxiety around it. also I was able to kind of shed the idea of like, I feel like there's so many different paths that excite me or that can potentially get me to where I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But like even thinking about coaching, which is something that was spiraling in my head for a little bit, or facilitating, like whatever it was, for me personally, I think that as I was feeling uncertain with what I was going to do, those were easy things to latch onto because it's almost like it's the path of least resistance. Like you can just kind of dive into it. There's not a lot of barrier to getting started. But for me, I didn't know if that's what felt the most aligned.
Yeah.
So once I was able to like feel more grounded and like, oh, I do have a path forward and like it's not going to be as difficult or as crazy as I was making it out to be in my head, those other things fell away. And I'm like, oh, maybe in the future still, I don't know, but I'm happy that I have a path forward with the MSW that I want to pursue.
Yay. I'm
Yeah.
really, really happy that that worked out. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm just excited to keep seeing how it pans out and what that
Yeah.
looks like in the future. Because, yeah, if you end up going to Humboldt or like doing your MSW there, it's like such a sacred and like special space for you there. So,
Yeah, it would be perfect. Like I love it up there so much. That program, you have like a 4-day intensive every year
mm-hmm.
where you're on campus with everyone. I'm already looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm already looking forward to visiting
Any
you.
excuse to go up to Humboldt and Arcata that I can have is good.
Yeah.
And I guess, oh, the other thing kind of related is I brought all of this up to my boss. So that's my goal to apply at the end of next year. And that was just a really good conversation I had with her. And she was like, oh, I didn't know you wanted to do that. That's cool. Like, um, so it felt good talking to her about it and like having her be on the same page of what my goals are. And hopefully in the coming year, we can work together to try to get me some I don't know, connections to someone in our network who might be able to like help me along the way.
Yeah.
So that's exciting too.
No, that's so exciting.
Mhm.
I feel like it's, I don't know, it feels like meant to be in a way. Like,
I
you know what I mean? Like, it's just so interesting. We would have never guessed that this is how things would
no.
maybe turn out. But it, like,
Nope.
in the moment for me, for you, like, it feels right. Like, it feels like it has that flow and that ease,
Yeah.
which I think the best things, like, in life kind of have that. Um, yeah. And, like,
Yeah.
Humboldt just feels right to me.
No, it totally
Yeah.
that was my first choice, but then like that's the first school I reached out to.
Yeah.
Um so I'm happy that the energy and the answer there has shifted.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can't speak obviously for what's going to happen in the future with my current job, but I'm hopeful that we're able to like work something out so I can either do a work placement somehow or like continue to work there as I'm in grad school. I was looking at the schedule for Humboldt. It's really nice because it's like I think you start with 2 semesters and then 2 semesters you're doing your field placement
Yeah.
and then you have like I think a year and a half off of another field placement and then your last 2 semesters of the program you do field placement. So that's also something that we'll see. It doesn't feel scary right now though. It just feels like, oh, there's like a lot of
Yeah.
possibility. Um, I trust that like things are just gonna work out like in a good way.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive into some end of year reflection, but not the Q4 corporate kind, more of like the feel good kind. Yeah, what do you think has been consistent in your life versus changing? What feels like an anchor? Um, yeah.
One thing that I'm looking at the list that I made, and I feel like it's kind of the first one I put is actually in between the two. So, in terms of being a consistent anchor, I put Eddie on the list,
Hmm.
but also the way that we're relating to each other, I think is shifting back into like something that feels sorry, I have like an eyelash. That feels like more that we want. Like I think that it's been hard for us to schedule like a lot of private time together, which I mean, it's the living situation is really
Yeah,
at the base of that. So
100%.
we're
I could
doing
only
what
imagine, like, yeah.
we're doing what we can. Um, but we've been talking about just like being more intentional in our relationship. So yes, of course, like he's a consistent anchor, but we're talking about shifting in how we're showing up. And
Mhm.
that's something big that I want to focus on as we enter this new year. Because I feel like just again, our living situation now is kind of like draining energetically, and we're looking to change it as soon as we can.
Mhm.
But it does affect how I'm showing up, like in that relationship.
Yeah.
So that's the first one. Other consistent anchors, I put friends, like having a visualization practice. I feel like that's for me like one of the easiest ways like that I can do some type of self care, some type of spiritual practice because it's so accessible. You just need to sit or lie down and close your eyes, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I love doing it. And another one, um, more recently, has been like tending to my physical spaces and
Mhm.
like really letting go of so much. And it's been feeling really good. And it's been a project I've been working on for a lot of the year. And I feel like I have a little more momentum as we're ending the calendar year.
Yeah.
Um, in terms of things that have felt like it's been changing, I've been feeling like, especially as we're closing out the year, that there's just like a big energetic shift for me and like a big like physical shed that's in store for next year. And I was also looking at the numerology of 2026, and it
Mhm.
brings us back to year one,
Mhm.
which I'm super excited for because I feel like every calendar year, yeah, of course, it's a nice reminder to begin again, but having the like numerology and energy of the year be like focused in on this is a new beginning, to me, that almost um, gives me permission to be like, okay, well, anything that's happened, like, it truly, like, it doesn't matter. Like, this is, we're beginning again.
Mm.
And
Oh, I love that.
I don't need to bring any of that because it's irrelevant now
Yeah.
and I can just move forward. So I love all those reminders. That's why I like looking into numerology or astrology. I just like those reminders to help ground myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I feel is coming up, like this big shift, and I'm excited to see how it plays out.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
And we're like kind of bringing it back to that theme. We're currently in the year of the snake, which is like all about shedding. I think we're going into the year of the horse. Yes, 2026, which is actually the year that I was born,
Oh.
1990, was also year of the horse.
Mhm.
So I liked that. I liked that kind of like connection. My cousin Dima like reminded me of that the other day. That like, hey, it's going to be our year of the horse. So I love the idea of 25 being just like stripping down and shedding.
Yeah.
Um, and then year one seems like super cool.
Mhm.
The other cool numerology thing with 26 is, um, and yesterday I went to the Nourishing the Yin retreat or the Winter Wonderland retreat, and Ayla's born on the 13th. I was born on the 13th. Her mom's born on the 13th, and then another gal that was there was born on the 13th.
Mm.
And I was like, 26 is our year. It's like 2 times 13. So
Mhm.
anyways, just like some little fun things
Mm.
around those numbers. Um, for me, what's been consistent, I will say, consistent anchors have been journaling, practicing yoga, connecting with like my family, my friends, daily nature walks, even when it's raining. Like Aaron and Gunnar and I every night like go on a walk together. It's our family walk. We usually like come home from work, chill for like an hour, and then we go on a family walk. And I really look forward to those every night. And it's like kind of our like end of day catch up. And I like that we're doing it as we're moving. And we've been doing that for honestly forever, like
Mhm.
probably since we started dating. And it was something I always did, even as a kid. Like I would just go for walks.
Mm.
So that's been very consistent. And then just some other consistent anchors are like going on road trips. Not really lately because it's the weather hasn't permitted, but I love going on a road trip in our van where we can just like unplug, not be in service, and kind of come back to that practice of like creating our shelter, like cooking our food, just like being
Mm.
surrounded by nature, not having anywhere else to be, not having like, the daily chores to think. Like the daily chores look different when you're doing van life, but
Right.
um yeah, so that's been really nice. And yeah, coming back to the shedding and the stripping, a consistent practice for me has been like just decluttering throughout, like as life is happening. Um, and so like seasonally, I usually go through my closet and just start to notice like, okay, what did I use this season? What haven't I used? And if like clothes aren't fitting me anymore, I used to like hold on to those to be like, oh, well, maybe I'll like fit into these again. I'm not really doing that to myself anymore.
Mm.
I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable. Let me like make myself more comfortable and like get clothes that make me feel like my best self.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of like consistent and changing that
Mm-hmm.
practice. It's kind of like evolving, I would say.
Mm.
Um, Anyways, so the next thing I'm curious about is what what are you noticing that's like kind of changing and fluctuating versus like being consistent? I guess you kind of touched a little bit about that
Yeah.
with like
I think,
what you and Eddie are working on. Is there
yeah,
anything else you wanted to pull?
I think, hmm. I mean, I think a big thing that I kind of put in this category too was just having that clarity feels like a little, I don't know, it feels like a little fire under me or something, um, to have clarity of what the direction's gonna be. So I think I also said this to you in like a random phone call that we had where I'm just like, I just want to fucking know which way so that way everything else can fall to the side because I
Yeah.
really need that. Like I need to just know which way I'm going.
Yeah.
Um and so I feel like I am ending this year and about to start the next year with that. So that's been a big shift because I think there were many months, maybe like half of 2025, where I was like, okay, like I feel kind of good about where I am, but where am I going? Because this is good, but this isn't how I want it to be for the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Um, so I think that's been like the biggest change. Yeah, just more clarity around what I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
Mm.
For me, the biggest change I think has been this year has actually been like full of changes as I like look back, and I haven't really sat down to like go month by month, but this year started with like our proposal, like Aaron's proposal and our engagement, um and then I got a new job
Hmm.
in August, and so it was a lot of like starting the year with the People's Reset in Mexico and thinking about like really allowing what what our dreams could look like really expanding how people are living outside of this like kind of set societal norms and like building their own communities and um different ways people are like utilizing technology that feel like more aligned with like our lifestyle and kind of in healthier ways and different ways people are raising their children. And so to start off 2025 like fully learning and meeting new people in that retreat or in that conference was so cool, and then ending that trip with our engagement and like
Mm.
our engagement shoot and like being in Mexico City for that, like it just felt like such a beautiful new beginning. And then we spent like months remodeling, like finishing up the Airbnb down here, and then renting that out. And that was like also like such a huge accomplishment. So I feel like 2025 really was like all of these years of work and like hardships in certain ways, like coming to like a beautiful new beginning and like a beautiful like end. But like, you know, with every end there's a new beginning. um and then also like ending like this like toxic cycle at work of like
Mm-hmm.
being in a not good environment, and like coming into this new environment where I now, like, the first couple months of this new job felt um like a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but because it was just like such a different environment. But now I feel more settled, more grounded in my job, and like I really admire the people I work for, and I really like really love the way that the leaders in my org like lead with heart and empathy, and they're really sharp, and like people work hard, but like there's a lot of like fun and there's a lot of celebration. And like our end of the year in the corporate setting has, I've gotten a lot of like encouragement and acknowledgement, which I really like. That's like what I was manifesting in
Mm-hmm.
24. Like I really needed that in my workspace. So all of this to say, and then this next January we'll be like finishing off the remodel of the house like completely, and like the phase 3 of the remodel. So like it's kind of cool to see that pattern of like January of 25 felt like this new beginning in all of these ways, and then 26 is going to be like a level up, like a continuation of that. We're going to hopefully like plan our wedding, um and hopefully like finish out the house remodel. And once that's done, like, you know, I have other visions in store for what our life could continue to like build and look up to. So it's interesting, like it's a lot of change, but I love change. And actually, back to numerology, 13 is like apparently the number of change. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and also like Scorpios are all about transformation. And so I feel like I thrive when there's like a lot of like change happening.
Mm.
I think there was more that I was going to say, but I just literally went on a tangent. So
No,
let
I love
me
that.
let me revisit my notes. Yeah, I mean, I think like what I was just, I think I touched on everything that I said, but you know, I want to also like continue to focus on keeping a regulated nervous system, which I think I've been doing a good job of like incorporating all these tools that we've talked about on the podcast and all of this stuff to make sure that I'm like honoring that intention and not just saying it, but like really taking aligned action towards it. And I'm really proud of myself for this year because I think I started off the year doing that, and I've like continued all the way to the end, like doing that.
Mm.
So yeah.
Okay, I love that. Yeah, no, it has been a big year of change. I think that's funny that you said with the changes that you feel like you really thrive with that.
Hmm.
For me, I feel like I'm craving so much stability for next year
Mm.
because there are things that are stable.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is home. I need it to be stable and like
Yeah.
different for next year. So yeah.
I totally relate to that though, because when I was in inconsistent like home settings, like I remember when we lived in Oakland, we had this like really small 2-bedroom apartment, and there wasn't like natural light in there. I don't know if you visited
I
me,
did, I remember.
but it like, I swear like being in that space, like it was not good for my mental health.
Yeah.
And then once we moved from there to this house, just like how much space there is, how much natural light there is, I I completely transformed. So I think I'm like, I value that stability so much too. And like once when you feel like when I feel grounded, that's where I think I thrive in change, because it's like you're bringing it back to anchors. Like you're anchored down into this safe foundation that allows you to like flourish
Mm-hmm.
in these other ways. But like I'm almost picturing a tree. Like if you're not rooted down somewhere safe, like you're not going to be able to bloom and create apples and like, you know, all this stuff. It's going to be more stale and more, yeah. Anyways, I'm done with my analogies, but I'm looking at my apple tree, so.
Your apples are really good off the tree, so I can see why that was front of mind.
Yeah.
Okay. So next, we're going to dive into self-care, which honestly, I've been really bad at self-care recently.
Really?
I think it's just been several years ago, I used to not mind all of the gloominess during the winter. And again, I think that a lot of what I'm feeling right now is through the filter of like life feeling a little unstable right now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of in the background, but I've just been feeling a little more low energy and like a little more scattered. I've been trying to be present, like in the day to day, because that's been one of my goals this year to be more present. But I'm also really focused, especially as we're finishing up the year, on working to create systems that are going to support me next year.
Yeah.
And so I'm just finding it kind of hard to like do both at the same time because I really like, even though the new year doesn't start on January 1st,
No, it doesn't.
I just really want to do all that I can to kind of just start the calendar year like playing and building with systems. So I'm spending a lot of just like brain and energy trying to figure out what that's going to look like for me.
Yeah. Your planner is a great way to do it, though.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Just plugging that in casually.
Yeah, I have. I've been working on my planner project. I just finished my first full month, so now I can just duplicate everything else for the rest of the year. And then I need to go in and make my quarterly review pages and then my solstice and equinox, like not review, but like meditation or reflection pages.
Yeah.
And then it will be done. But I just want to have at least like maybe the first 6 months done, like by the start of next year. So that way it's just in my binder and I can work with it and feel all set up. But honestly, having this little self-care check-in on the pod is a really good reminder for me to like think of it more for the next 2 weeks, just because it has kind of taken the back seat. And now I'm just trying to think, okay, what are really gentle little check-ins I can do throughout the next 2 weeks?
Can I ask, like,
Yeah.
what do you think has like taken place of like your self-care practice? Because there have been like a lot of moments in time where you've had like a very strong self-care practice, and like,
Yeah.
I guess I'm wondering, like, what does self-care look like to you in this moment, and like how are you defining it, and where are you using up your time that you feel is like taking away from the time you would put into your self-care?
Honestly, just I've been doing a lot of like doom scrolling and just like vegging in front of the TV. And I think it's because I honestly have been feeling low energy, like almost kind of sad like this month.
Yeah.
So I think it's been like a little hard to get out of that.
Yeah.
And so I notice it, and then there have been days when it's interesting because I think there are different things going on in my head. So like when I'm in a really good space, self-care feels like it's a flow. Like I don't really have to think about it that much. I can check in with myself and like, oh, what do I need? Oh, I can go do that. But when I'm coming from a much lower place, self-care shifts into, oh, I need to be disciplined. So it's a shift. Like
you're thinking about it as like a disciplined like chore instead of like, ooh, this would feel really good.
No, because I think to take care of myself, like if I'm feeling sad and if I'm feeling low,
Yeah.
I can't go off how I'm feeling to get me out of feeling that way.
Yeah.
So if I'm already feeling sad and low, then I need to intentionally be like, no, I'm going to set my alarm earlier and I need to make myself get out of bed because that is actually what my body needs to feel better. But I'm fighting how I'm feeling. That's the other thing that's really shifted in this past maybe even the past few months. I still really believe in like checking in to see how you're feeling and what you need.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really resistant to say that, oh, I think that I should just be following how I'm feeling, because if that I have been following how I'm feeling, and that's why I continue to feel so shitty.
Okay.
So I'm more looking at it from the lens of like, okay, well, I'm feeling bad,
Yeah.
and to get myself to not feel bad or not feel how I'm feeling, it's going to require me to like push myself.
Yeah.
Like, and that might not be honoring my feeling, but it's honoring what I need. And so I've been trying to like figure that out, how that looks this time of year.
Mm. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? How's your self-care been?
I actually feel like very proud of my self-care. As you were talking right now, I think I had like a little bit of like a, oh, interesting moment for myself in reflecting, because what changed for me this year is my work schedule went from being like inconsistent in my old job to like very consistent in my new job. Like
Mm-hmm.
I go in Monday, Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I work from home Wednesdays and Fridays.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really working for me because, and I kind of played around with like Wednesday, Thursday, like working working in office the first 3 days. But then I realized, oh no, like Monday and Tuesdays are so crazy that I really just need that like alone time on Wednesdays. And
Mm-hmm.
so I was able to shift my schedule. And so now, like, I think it just really works for me where I have the weekend, and then I go in on Mondays and Tuesdays. I like kind of go hard because like that's just the culture at work. Like it's just always so busy on those days, and those are the most like meeting heavy days.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Wednesday, I'm able to like focus on the things that I need to focus on at work. And then Wednesdays and Sundays, I kind of set this up like many years ago when I was using the Saber Planner. Those are like my um, water my seeds days. So
Mm-hmm.
I water my plants, and then I like do self-care those days. Like that's when I like might take a bath, or like might like really like be motivated to like actually like finish like cleaning up and doing laundry and um stuff like that. So I think that my work schedule is working for me, and like also those two things that I implemented a while ago, I noticed they've just become like subconscious things. Like I'm not consciously being like, okay, it's Wednesday and Sunday, I'm going to do my reset. It's just that like I practiced it for so many years that
Yeah.
now it just like I notice that it's happening, and then I acknowledge like, oh, it's Wednesday. Like that's so interesting. Like it just feels like the natural
Mm.
flow. And so I almost mirrored that with my work schedule, because like obviously when I work from home I can like do laundry or like clean the kitchen when like maybe on a Monday and Tuesday it gets messier because I'm like not home, and then
Yeah.
whatever. um anyway, so all that to say, like having a clean environment also feels like self-care, but
Mm-hmm.
that's also like I feel like I'm constantly cleaning and then I'm like also constantly like making messes. So
That's life,
that's just
man.
life. That's just life.
It's clean for a little bit and then
Yeah, but
it
other
happens.
self-care things that I've been doing, like I found this year, like I started using Osea Malibu body products.
Mm-hmm.
And so just like I have those products like where I know I'm going to use them. So for example, um I have like my face wash in the shower. So every morning, like when I take a shower, I'm using that face wash, and it's like a moment of like just like feeling the body butter like on my hands, or like it's like a pH body wash, and then like smelling it and like using it on my face. And so I try to I try to like almost habit stack, like integrate it into my life, and then I have the products like in my medicine cabinet and
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So like I have them around where I can see them and where I know I'm going to use them, and it just makes it easier for me because if I visually see it, then I'll use it.
Right.
So I really like that line, and it's like been making it feels like a luxury every time I use it. So it feels like I'm getting like a little bit of like a happiness jolt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've started taking baths again. And before the pod, Emily got me like this beautiful bath set for my birthday. So I'm so excited to use that. But yeah, like we have a brand new bath down here and it just feels like such a luxury to use it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
been like my bath time, and I'm the only one that uses this bathroom now. So kind of makes it easier versus like, our like shared bathroom. And then I, like I keep seeing like all the gua sha stuff all over the
Mm-hmm.
internet, but I was like, oh, I don't really need a gua sha. Let me just like try to use my hands. So I've been doing like lymphatic draining in my face, like just
Mm.
with my hands and like my palms,
Yeah.
and like to remove like the puffiness and like help with like the drainage and to boost circulation. And I'm always tempted when I see like Instagram ads of like, oh, look at this cool brush that you can use to do it. But I'm like, I'll just use my hands. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't need
Mm.
another product.
No, I think like yeah, they just try to get you with that, but
They try to get you, and
you
they,
can just use your hands.
yeah, it's like what's the point of this? Okay, to drain my face. Okay, do I really need a brush for this, or can I just use what God gave me?
Mm-hmm.
So I just started doing that the last couple weeks, but I like noticed a difference when I do it. And then lastly, I just was like, similar to you, this weather, like especially in San Bruno, like sometimes in San Bruno it's like foggy, but it's sunnier, like in Hillsborough by my mom's house. Anyways, the getting home when it's dark is like just torture, to be honest. It's just torture. All I want to
Yeah.
do is like wear my sweats and cozy up on the couch and like binge watch TV. Like, of course, it just feels like that's what you need after like staring at a computer screen and like giving your energy to everybody all day.
Yeah.
Um, but Erin and I like have both noticed that, so we've been encouraging each other to go to the gym. So we've been going
Mm-hmm.
to the gym together. Um, and we were like, okay, let's try to go like at least once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll try to do more, but like that will be like kind of the low bar goals to at
Yeah.
least like get us going. And I realized I used to be so intimidated by going to the gym, like
I
not knowing
remember.
what to
Mm-hmm.
do and like not liking like people like perceiving me as a human, like, or gawking or whatever. Um, and I realized it's kind of going away now. Like I'm just
Mm,
kind of like more of like I don't give a fuck
good.
energy.
Good.
Um, and I think it also helps that I'm going in with Erin. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not working out next to each other. We kind of like do our own
But you're in the
things.
same space and like you're there
Yeah.
at the same time, so it makes a difference.
Yeah. So I'm really proud of myself for doing that. And then the last thing is um I've been like just doing more like I've been kind of using the self-care stuff, like the self-care tools like to be magnetic and
Mm-hmm.
other things that are available to me like more intentionally. Um I have a group of women that I do the To Be Magnetic work with, and we're accountability partners. So we have like a WhatsApp group.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll like be like, okay, where are you in the challenge, or where are you in the book? And I finished their book this year, and we did like a book club, and then we like kind of like did the challenge together. So I think having like that accountability with Erin, the accountability with like my TBM friends, and then also doing Ayla's like Yin workshop. And then
Mm-hmm.
yesterday she hosted a Winter Wonderland retreat, and it was beautiful. It was in Pescadero. We like did a couple Yin practices. We had a tea ceremony. We made like these really cool lantern jars where we
Mm.
did. We have to do this together. I know
Okay.
you wanted to do this with the pumpkins, but we did like what is it called? Mod Podge
Yeah.
on the lanterns, and then did like dehydrated flowers and
Yeah,
like
I've seen
different
that too.
and
Mm-hmm.
different like cutouts that she has, and all the stuff. So we like all made lanterns, and then
Mm.
we like did a write and burn in the fire at the end of the night, and we had like a sound bath. So we did like a couple different yin yoga practices, a creative thing, lunch together, like other like kind of get to know you stuff, and then like a sound bath and like a tea ceremony, and the
Mm.
write and burn during the tea ceremony with a real fire. And there was like these four, I'm on a tangent right now, but I can't stop. There was these four cats there,
Oh.
and I fell in love with one of them.
Mm.
And he looked like my old cat from childhood who like has recently been on my mind. So it's like there was a lot of synchronicities happening yesterday. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, ooh, this feels like magic. Like we've talked about this before, but like synchronicities like is one way that I really feel magic. So I fell in love with this cat and I already miss him, but he was like obsessed with me all day. He was like following me around. There was other people there and he would come to me.
A little fur baby.
And he was just like, yeah, he was just so freaking cute. And he looked like my old cat that I named Fuzz Bucket. So I think I'm going to get like a fluffy tuxedo cat when the time is right. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can see you with a cat.
I'm actually like such a cat girl. Yeah. So I had cats before I ever had dogs.
Yeah, now I just envision all the dogs that you've had. Like,
yeah.
But oh, you and a cat curled up on the couch.
Okay.
Well, really quick, your list reminded me that I guess the one more consistent self-care thing I've been doing recently has been going to yoga, which I feel like every winter, this is the cycle that kind of I fall into.
Yeah.
Like during the year, I do more hiking or more like going to the gym. And then every winter, like it hits where I'm like, oh, I need to like really dive into my yoga practice. So that's been nice. And I've loved going back to ocean yoga.
Yeah.
And I love the teachers there and it's been really good.
Me
but
too.
yeah, that's been my.
So maybe your self-care just looks different now.
It does, and I think it really does shift with the seasons, and I need to be okay with that.
Yeah.
It's just I think right now the other stuff going on in the background is making it feel extra hard. But it's not going to be like that forever. It'll be fine.
Yeah. It'll change.
Yes.
All right. Word of the month for January. What's your intention? What's your word for January?
Well, my word is going to be home. And I have it mirrored in the planner system that I'm making.
Okay.
So I'm having, instead of a word of the month, I'm having a word of the quarter.
Okay.
To dive in like through 3 months.
I like that actually.
Yeah, because I feel like 1 month is not enough. And then I feel overwhelmed and pressure to be like, oh, I didn't do anything this month or I didn't do enough. And now we're already moving on to the next thing. Like, I think 3 months is a good chunk of time to kind of like sink into it.
Yeah.
So I put like for January, I have home and then I have questions that I put like to kind of keep in mind. So I put what relationships feel like a refuge.
Ooh.
What daily practices invite me to return to myself? And does my environment support the way that I want to feel? So those are going to be things that I'm thinking of as I'm starting the year.
I love that.
Thank you.
I'm always so inspired by you.
What about you?
My word of the month is kind of more of a phrase. It's restore and receive. And I've already been, I think maybe like you, I don't think it's like a word of the month as much as it's a word of the season. So end of autumn and for all of winter, I think that has already been my intention. And so I'm just bringing it in to continue since we're at the winter solstice today. Happy solstice, by the way.
Yes, happy solstice.
So for me, it's about like completing the cycle. So with like the home remodel, with my passion projects like this podcast, with our YouTube channel, mine and Aaron's YouTube channel, plugging in Paths of Freedom. See you guys there. And that's been really fulfilling. And then also like buckling down with like, you know, my To Be Magnetic work and then this yin workshop. I already have such a full life and so much going on. And I feel like this is a time where society tells you like, oh, have New Year's resolutions and kind of like it's the beginning. But for me, I'm not like, it doesn't feel like the beginning. And I haven't felt that way in years now, where like winter to me is a time to restore. It's a time to hibernate, to reflect. It's not like I'm like anti starting something new. I'm being more intentional instead about nurturing the seeds that I've already planted and like helping them really root down and just continuing to like give love to the areas that like I've already been, nurturing and I've already been giving my energy to. And like instead of inviting something new, I'm trying to like say no more to things, so that way I can
Mhm.
really focus on the things that like matter, that are filling my cup right now.
Yeah.
Um, and again, like this is such a beautiful time of the year, and I have so many wonderful people in my life, and so many people that want my energy and want to get together and this and that. And like, I'm just kind of okay with not making plans right now. Like,
Yeah.
I think spring and summer for me is like when I really want to like socialize and like kind of like bring people together and um right now that's not what I need. So
Yeah. No, and I
yeah.
love that reminder that it's really not New Year on January 1st.
Yeah.
And like it would be so bad if I tried to, just me personally, like from the emotional state that I feel that I'm in, it just wouldn't be like productive for me to try to set goals and intentions when I'm coming from such a low place.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that would just, it wouldn't feel good. So,
I also think we're already so intentional with our lives. So I think like New Year's for a lot of people is like the one time of the year that they maybe like sit to think about what they want in their life. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
but
it
we're kind of
is,
doing it like constantly.
it is, yeah,
Not
it's
to,
weird because, and it even goes back to like our little pre-pod discussion of there is like nature's way
mhm.
of how the year flows, and
Yeah,
then there's like human made, like corporate, like get shit done.
buy a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like just everything that goes with the different seasons. Like there's so much that could be a whole nother episode like in itself, just like nature has its seasons, but then there's the fucking fashion cycle where it's like they're cycling through stuff every season and like all of the waste and like all
Yeah.
of the bullshit that goes with all of that. But yeah, you're right. I think that a lot of people, um, yeah, it's January 1st or it's like some random Monday somewhere during the year, like at the start of the month, maybe when
Yeah.
people give themselves permission to like start again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to just like ease into things.
Yeah. I agree.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts you want to share before we end our pod?
Yeah, I'll end with a little gratitude. I'm happy that we're like working on this project together because we have been talking about it for a while or just like joking with each other, like, oh, we should do a podcast or like that would be fun. And now we're actually doing it and we have like episodes to show for it. So I
Yeah.
think that's really cool that we're doing this together.
Oh, I love you, and I'm so excited. And it's like every time we sit to do this, like I don't know, it just really fills my cup. I look
Hmm.
forward to it.
Yeah.
I have fun editing. When I'm listening to them back, we're always like, I end up sending you all these voice memos, like we're so cute and cool. So yeah, I'm super grateful for that, and I'm excited for what winter brings and to keep doing this. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm super grateful for all the people that have tuned in so far.
Yeah.
This is just the start, and feel free to share this with a friend that you think might enjoy it. Maybe tell us what your intentions are for the month of January, or any comments or any thoughts that came up. We really want to hear from you guys. We just see kind of numbers on the views. It would be really wonderful to like put faces to those views.
Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
being here with us as we're starting this new like chapter, this new project together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, take care, and happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year. Bye.
Bye.